So tell me about yourself. That's the question, that's the topic of today's video here on the IT Career Guide YouTube channel. On this channel I usually talk about IT career related topics, be it technology, be it how to break into IT or how to advance your career in information technology. Just in case if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please pause the video, go down below, hit the subscribe button, also click on the little bell that becomes available so that you get notified when I upload new videos. So the tell me about yourself question is not just IT career related, it's really related to anyone who's looking for a new job and who's going through the application and interview process with a company. And usually one of the first typical questions that a hiring manager asks is, please tell me about yourself. And I've been a hiring manager for many years now. I've gone through many interviews from the manager side, but also from the applicant side. And over the years, I really learned a lot on that side and really how to identify what is the hiring manager looking for. And as a hiring manager, what mistakes are applicants potentially making when they respond to that question, tell me about yourself. So when you respond to that question, please don't just go and read the different places and companies that you worked at from your resume. The hiring manager has a copy of your resume. He or she can read, he or she can see where you worked. They really want to know, how did you get there at this point to this point in your career? And that's really an opportunity for you to open up the discussion, but also present yourself in the best possible light so that the hiring manager really gets interest in you, that the interest peaks and they really want to know more about you. So when you answer that question, please don't just tell, okay, I went to high school here, I went to college here, my first job was there, then I moved to this position, I've been this or that, or whatever it is. So just don't be boring in that side. Really use that question to your advantage. And here I want to tell you really what can you do with this question and how can you really turn it into an advantage for yourself. So when you respond to that question, you really want to look at, okay, what is the position, what is the company I'm applying for? What are they looking for? I mean, you have the job description, you know the job title, you know what they're looking for. Potentially in the job description they told you what you need to be, what you need to have, what skills and expertise you need to have. And if you have that information, you look back at your own career and maybe you worked at different projects or you worked with certain technologies, and that's really where you want to go. So if you get asked that question, respond with something like this. So I work in IT for over 6 years now. I started in a help desk position, worked there for about 1.5 years and then moved into junior systems administration with XYZ company. While I worked there, I really learned a lot about Active Directory and Microsoft Azure. And Microsoft Azure and cloud technology specifically caught my interest. And so I spent a lot of extra time educating myself about Microsoft Azure, Active Directory Online, and cloud storage, OneDrive, Microsoft Teams, all the related technologies that really form that picture of Microsoft Azure. I also looked at Exchange Online and how you manage the different groups, distribution lists, and what the difference is between an on-prem email system and the cloud-based Office 365. From there, once I had this knowledge acquired, I was able to move up to a mid-level position, and my manager put me onto different projects like migrating from an on-prem Microsoft Exchange into Office 365, converting everything from the on-prem environment into cloud, do the appropriate cleanup, and really make our email environment much more resilient, more secure, and remove really a lot of the legacy items that we were carrying around. That project really was very successful. It took a little longer than expected, but I mean, that's a very complex project, and so I worked my way through these problems, and I felt in the end I was really successful in the delivery. So from there I moved into a senior level position at the same company, but it turned out to be a little boring and I wasn't really challenged. And you know, I like to work in a place where I can make a contribution to the success of the company, to the success of my team where I work at, and of course, hopefully I can advance myself in the career. So feeling a little stuck in that position, I moved to another company called blah blah blah. And over there, I again took a senior level system administrator position. My skill set that I had built up with Microsoft Azure, Office 365 really helped me to get into a project there to migrate and to clean up the Active Directory. So the Active Directory was very old, they had never updated, they were still running on Microsoft Server 2012, Active Directory 2012. So I helped to really upgrade Active Directory to Server 2019, expanded into Microsoft Azure, looking into adding machines into Microsoft Azure, so not domain on-prem based machines, but cloud-based machines that really connect to Azure, then using Intune for mobile device management, and really advancing the security of our machines out in the field. So that's really how I got there. So over the time, you can see really that I spent a lot of time educating myself. I jumped into the cloud technology, and I really feel that's where my strengths are. And I hope really that this plays a major role here at XYZ company just based on the job description. So I just went through this explaining a little bit about myself, and as you can tell, I didn't really go too much into my resume. Yes, I used some key points when I worked there, or when I moved up from a junior level position into a mid-level or senior level, or when I left the help desk. But I mean, that is visible from the resume, but I put a context around it, a framework, and I really talked more about the technology, about the work that I did and how I really helped my employer or my IT department where I worked to advance and to become a better place to work at, and really showing the benefits. So several things here really. For one, I put myself into a really good spotlight that I'm very self-driven, I educate myself. I'm not necessarily asking for training or just point out, oh, I was sent to this training course. No, I really just pointed out that I educated myself in Microsoft Azure in cloud technologies. I showed drive that I moved from a help desk position to junior to mid-level to senior level. I explained even a few projects I worked on. And yes, I gave context that one of the projects took a little longer, but I still was very proud of the work I delivered. So when you look at that question, tell me about yourself, and you compare it to somebody just rereading the positions and the places on their resume compared to what I just did here, you can see that I provided so much more information, that I put myself into a much better spotlight, and really hope that based on the job description for the job I'm applying for, I'm making, I want to say, an impact to the picture that the hiring manager is forming about me. So, and while this is just one question in the interview process, if you rewind the video and you check how long I talked, I didn't use much time really in the end, but I provided a lot of extra information that is not necessarily visible from the resume or from the cover letter. So, and that's really where you can separate yourself, use that question to your advantage, and also drive the interview in a direction where now the hiring manager can go and ask more questions about these projects. So, and if you are very comfortable with what you did there, it should be very easy for you to a little bit control the direction of the interview. Of course, the hiring manager will have different questions and it will deviate away from this area. But if you can control some of that environment, you're in a much better spot at the very end that the hiring manager will consider you for this open position. So I hope you found this video helpful. Please give it a thumbs up. It really will help me with providing more content, knowing what you like or what you don't like. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to my channel. And of course, I would love to hear from you in the comments. Please provide any feedback, or if you have interests in more videos, give me specific topics that you're interested in, and I'll be happy to provide more videos. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.